Down through the ages, man's desire to run faster and jump higher has led him to devise new ways to glide across his landscape, ever faster and with less effort. This drive has culminated in the modern inline skate. From the clunky metal skates of the past, a continuing evolution brings us to today's space-age technology, the inline skate, a high-speed cruising machine. Inline skating is the country's fastest-growing sport. Blading offers the thrills of speed and unlimited challenge. A good skate is an incredible aerobic workout, as well as fantastic cross-training for most sports. In addition to the obvious fun and fitness benefits of blading, it's also a great way to get around.
Hi, my name is Joel Rappelfeld, and I've taught thousands the art of inline skating, and thousands more through my book, The Complete Blader. I've devised a simple step-by-step method to teach you how to inline skate properly. You'll be learning the basics of balance, stopping, striding, falling, and how to conquer those killer hills. So before we start rolling, let's go over the equipment. A good inline skate should have a solid outer shell with a good cushioned inner liner. The outer shell gives you good ankle support, while the inner liner gives you comfort while skating. The boot should fit comfortably with a single athletic sock. Your toes should not be jammed too far forward in the front, and your heel shouldn't ride up too high in the back. They should be comfortable, and the wheels should spin smoothly when you're gliding. When you're putting on your skates, make sure your socks are pulled up nice and high so you don't have any wrinkles in it. The tongue of the boot should lie flat on your instep. Whether you have laces or buckles, make sure you tighten it from the bottom on up so your foot does not flop around inside your skate. And with the special CCM Reebok pump system, a few simple squeezes, and it fits like a dream. But the most important equipment of all is your safety gear. Helmets, wrist guards, elbow guards, knee pads. The more protective gear you wear, the more confident you will be. And when you fall, and notice I didn't say if, you'll be glad you have them on. Several of the balancing and centering positions can be done right in your home. First, let's start with the feet and leg positions. I'll be referring to these positions throughout the lesson, so become familiar with them. Parallel and even. Your heels and toes are equal distance apart from each other. Now drop your knees and ankles in toward each other, and you'll be on the inside edges. Now the opposite is to push your knees apart, and you'll be on the outside edges. Next, the turnout position. Place your heels together and point your toes out. A variation of the turnout position is the T position, where the heel of one boot is placed against the inside of the other. And then there is a turned-in or pigeon-toed position. Finally, try a scissors stance. With your feet parallel, roll one foot slightly ahead of the other. Now try it with the other foot. This is a very important position, so get comfortable with it. Before and after every exercise, it's important to stretch, especially when you're starting a new exercise and using new muscles. Stretching increases the blood flow to your muscles as well as gets you mentally prepared for your exercise ahead. It's great to try you doing your stretches while you're on your skates. The more you wear your skates, the more comfortable you'll be with them. Each position should be held for at least 30 seconds to maximize the benefit of the stretch. Remember to work all sides and all parts of your body when stretching. There, now that you're limbered up, let's start learning how to skate. Let's go through some exercises to find your natural center of balance and to show the correct body position. At first, having your skates on will seem a bit awkward. You will be about 3 inches taller and will not have the side-to-side stability that you're used to. Just as you had to learn to find your center of balance to learn to walk as an infant, we must do the same thing on skates. Stand straight with your legs locked and your upper body rigid. Without bending at the waist, lean forward slowly until you start to lose your balance. Don't worry, you will instinctively catch yourself. Now, with your arms out in front, lean back until you catch yourself. You will catch yourself. Now try the same thing, leaning to the left and to the right until you start to lose your balance and catch yourself. You may very well have done your first crossover as you caught yourself leaning to the side. Trust your natural instincts. If you're like most people, you leaned about 10 to 15 inches on all sides, giving you a limited range of motion. To increase that range, bend at the knees and bend slightly at the waist. This lowers your center of gravity and makes you more stable. This brings us to the perfect skating posture. Nose, knees, toes. Your knees and ankles should be bent, making them into shock absorbers. And you should be bent at the waist and the shoulders so your weight is transferred forward. There should be a vertical line from your nose past your knees to your toes. Before we move on to the part of the lesson where you actually start rolling, I want to go over one important aspect. Falling! Most people, when they start to lose their balance, go up and grab for the air. Don't do that. Remember, your most stable position is your weight forward, knees bent, and your hands on your knees. It lowers your center of balance and gets you close to the ground in case you do fall. This is where your protective gear comes into play. The sport is called blading, not bleeding. So if you're about to fall, flip your fingers back and go for the plastic. Skin is not asphalt friendly. And no matter how big you think your butt is, your tailbone is a very sensitive area. So make sure you fall forward using your plastic. Now, when you want to get up, place your foot flat on the ground, put both hands on your knee, push and stand up normally. Relax. Enjoy the sport. It's fun. Stopping. Before you start to roll, you have to learn how to stop. Now, there are several advanced stopping methods. However, the most effective stopping technique is the heel brake. To use this brake, start in a parallel position. Slide your right foot forward into the scissor position. Gently lift your right toe until you make contact with the brake. Do not lift your back wheel off the ground. It acts as a guide for the brake and keeps you tracked forward. To increase the weight transfer to the brake, and therefore increase your braking force, bend your left knee and straighten your right knee slightly. Squeeze your knees together. This will lock you into a braking position. Try this move in the stationary position to get the feel of it. Now use your upper body to increase your weight. Now it's time to put more weight onto your brake. Just like the unweighting and weighting in skiing, you want to do the same thing by inhaling on the preparation and exhaling on the brake. Now we're going to actually start rolling. Nose, knees, toes, hands on your knees, stabilize. Start rocking back and forth with a weight transfer. With your feet in a parallel position, feet hip width apart, and your hands on your knees, slowly begin to rock from side to side. This is weight transfer. This is what you'll be using when you're skating. As you shift from side to side and from boot to boot, bring your foot in and tap the side of your boot before you step over to the other side. Step and tap, step and tap. Always staying in balance throughout the whole movement. Find a nice, smooth skating area to practice skating. Free from hazards or traffic. A parking lot or playground would do just fine. So let's rock and roll! No, I mean that literally. Put your hands on your knees, knees bent. Start shifting your weight from side to side with your legs parallel. Now gently lean forward and point your toes out. You're rocking and you're rolling. Continue shifting your weight from side to side with your weight on your knees. Rock a little bit and roll a little bit. Rock a bit and roll a little bit. Always staying in balance. Rock from side to side and roll. Now prepare for your stop with your knees bent. Look up, bend your left knee and sit on it. Rocking and rolling may be skating, but it's not very sophisticated. I'm going to show you the basic push-off or how to stroke. Now, unlike traditional roller skates or ice skates, if you push off with your toe on inline skates, you'll push off with your wheel and you could lose your balance and fall. To push off or stroke in blading, it's simply done by placing one foot at a slight angle to the path of travel and push straight out to the side. To practice your stroking, put both hands on your right knee. Gently stroke out to the side with a flat foot and recover to center. Look up. Now stroke out again with your right leg. Remember, try letting your skate glide out to the side and bring your foot back to center at the end of each stroke. Try to bring your foot back as close to center as possible. Now reduce the count to 3 strokes to the right and 3 strokes to the left, always keeping your hands on your knees if you need to stabilize. Now 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Finally, 1 stroke to the right, together. 1 stroke to the left, together. Continue and practice, always with knees bent and legs together. Now let's practice our heel brake while rolling. Remember to always set up for the stop. Do not attempt to use your brake when you're out of balance. If you try to use your brake when you're out of balance, you may miss your brake completely and lose it. Prepare for your movement with a parallel and sit on it. Let me now show you how to improve your efficiency and power. A long, smooth stroke is needed to maximize your stride. Stand with your legs parallel, feet together. Now step out to the side. Bring them back in. Now put your elbows on your knees. Now step out to the side. Notice your stride almost doubles. The lower you go, the longer the stride, the further the glide. Now relax your shoulders and synchronize your arms in a natural front-to-back arm swing. Look up. Balancing on one leg is a critical skill to develop if you want to progress to more advanced levels. When you bring your leg up to balance, don't bring it too high above your ankle because this could unbalance you. Practice rolling on one foot and then the other until eventually you never have to put your foot down. The simplest type of turn is the edge turn. In a wide, parallel position, simply think left and go left, think right and go right. What you're naturally doing is edging with your right to go left and edging with your left to go right. Those of you who ski will recognize this principle. Try it a few times, it's really easy. And don't forget, bend your knees and look up. The edge turn is fine for a beginner skater. But now that you're an advanced skater, you need a more aggressive turn, the crossover. With your feet in a parallel position, swing your skate out in front of the other skate, setting it down in a flat parallel. If they're crossing each other, you'll probably trip over yourself while rolling. Try to lead with your toe, not your heel. Now try this exercise. Cross your left foot over your right and recover. Cross it again in a parallel and recover. Try it in the other direction. Right over left, recover. Again, right over left and recover. If you're having a hard time getting in that direction, fall. You will catch yourself. Now you could try it while rolling. With a good solid stroke, stroke out to the side, cross, recover. Stroke again, cross, recover. Keep on practicing until you get comfortable with it. You will find right over left takes you left, and left over right takes you right. Try to use your arms to help you rotate into the turn. Now that you know how to skate, let's get you out of the comfort and security of that parking lot. I'm going to teach you some basic street techniques to get you home in one piece. In the real world, there are loads of hazards for the inline skater. First, let's deal with debris. Debris comes in all forms: sand, gravel, water, oil, twigs, leaves. Whatever kind of debris it is, the approach is similar. Place your skates in the scissor position that we practiced earlier. Put a little extra flex in your knees and simply roll through the debris. If the debris is wet, be sure to glide gently for a few feet to dry off your wheels. Other foot-power traffic should be dealt with in a clear and courteous manner. The basic rule is stay to your right and announce your intentions. When you're approaching someone, wave them on the left. When you're overtaking someone, tell them clearly where you're coming from. Passing on your left. Now let me show you how to negotiate the inevitable curb. Ideally, you should approach the curb, stop, check traffic conditions, and continue safely. However, if the traffic light and the force is with you, approach the curb slowly in a scissor position. Shift your weight onto your back foot and gently step down and forward with a bent knee and recovering to a parallel. Continue skating as usual. Coming up onto a curb uses the same principle. Approach the curb with your feet in a scissor position, shift your weight onto your back foot, and then rock forward, recovering to a parallel. As you become more advanced, you can approach the curb in a scissor position, bend your knees, and land with your knees bent to absorb the shock. Although a driveway, speed bump, or wheelchair ramp may look easy, they should be approached in a scissor position. When going up, scissor your feet, bend your knees, and take the weight off your toes. For going down, scissor and keep your weight well forward on your lead boot. Be careful not to let your weight shift back when you hit bottom. Another hazard often encountered in the streets are cracks. A crack can grab all the wheels and lock you into a route you would not normally choose. When skating near a crack, always stride at a diagonal to the crack. Stairs offer a tricky situation. If you go down sideways or forward, you could misstep and fall down the stairs. The best way to go up and down stairs is to look up the stairs. Ideally, lock your toe on the riser or the vertical part of the step, balance, and bring it up. Lock onto the riser in a turnout position, balance, and step up. Going down is exactly the same way. Look between your legs or onto either side, balance, and step. Balance, and step. And always hold on to the banister. No discussion of the real world would be complete without discussing hills, how to go up them and how to come down them safely. When going up a hill, work with the angle of the hill and lean into it. Experiment with different body positions and strokes. Try short, choppy strokes with your toes turned out and your chest up. Then get down to longer, smoother strides. Now the scary part. Even veteran skaters get butterflies in their stomach when they're looking down a steep hill. This is the time to have confidence in your heel brake. Come onto your brake and sit on it all the way down the hill. Stay on that brake. Trust it. When you feel comfortable, come off your brake, come on your brake. Don't go faster than you're comfortable in rolling. Come off your brake, come on your brake. Stay on that brake and progress to your comfort zone. Roll a little, brake a little. Roll a little, brake a little. Little by little, you'll roll a little bit more and brake a little bit less until eventually you can trust yourself to go down the hill at any speed you like and just go for it. Another skating technique to help you master more advanced maneuvers is swizzling or sculling. Start with your heels together and let your feet roll out. Pivot on your heels and point your toes in. If your feet go parallel, you will end up stopping. Continue this movement. It's also a wonderful exercise for your thighs as well as your butt. Swizzling leads you to all these advanced moves. Crisscross, push out on your inside edges, and then pull your feet together, right in front of left, and then left in front of right. Backwards, keep your weight off of your heels and forward onto your toes. Let your skates glide out and in smoothly. Moving your arms like an orchestra conductor sometimes helps. Backwards crossovers. To go right, roll and cross your left skate in front of the right, recovering to parallel. Look over your shoulder and use your arms to rotate and guide you. Turn forward with 2 simple steps. And snowplow stops and slowdowns. And of course, power slides. After you become comfortable with the basics, try some jumps. If you jump with your toes up in the air, you'll fall backwards. If you jump with your heels up in the air, you'll fall forwards. Try to jump straight up and land with your knees bent, flat-footed. Try it. Then try a front-to-back jump. Lift your arms and jump into your side arm. Then do the same from back to front, and then get a little fancy. So now you know the fundamentals of inline skating. So pump up your skates and just go for it.
Let's go, Joe.
Oh, I love this sport. I really do. I love it. And remember the general rules of inline skating. Bend your knees, look up, wear protective gear, observe all the traffic rules by staying in the right lane, be courteous of pedestrians, don't fall, and most importantly, enjoy the sport. learn more advanced techniques like freestyle, artistic, tricks, and speed skating, look for my next tape, Blading Level 2, or buy my book, The Complete Blader, available at most bookstores and CCM outlets.